You can hit a golf ball farther and more consistently even without a backswing. Well, it's not completely without a backswing. What I mean is, it feels like there's almost no backswing. The reason many amateur golfers can't hit the ball consistently is because of mistakes in their backswing. There are all sorts of issues: excessive overswing, incorrect wrist angles, wrong tilt, you name it. All of these lead to unstable impacts on the course, like topping the ball or hitting the ground before the ball. Now, you can eliminate these problems. This no-swing technique is transforming the game for many golfers. In today's video, I'll show you 2 very simple drills. So make sure to watch until the end and check out both drills. Both of them will completely change the feel, shape, and performance of your backswing. Overswing, bad wrist angles, incorrect tilt. Many of you watching through this camera are probably making the same mistakes. You're doing your backswing almost like a trick. What I mean by tricking the backswing is that there's hardly any rotation in your body. So your hips barely turn, your upper body hardly rotates, and as a result, your body tends to lift up a bit during the swing. You'll notice that the posture you started with collapses. At address, you have a good tilt and angle, but you soon lose them. Because you don't rotate properly during the swing, this eventually leads to your arm structure breaking down. That's why your arms end up bending excessively. When your arms fold too much, they hide behind your body, and this makes you feel trapped. Then you start to overcock your wrists, and your lead wrist bends like a cup. This makes your backswing look like a normal backswing. It looks normal on the outside, but it's actually a trick. Let me put on the Hack Motion wrist sensor for a moment. Now, I'll try swinging with the incorrect movements I mentioned earlier. Collapsed arm structure, severe wrist cupping. No power. A shot that flies high to the right. Let's quickly look at these wrist angle numbers. At address, the lead wrist angle was 25 degrees. At the top, it increased to 46 degrees. At impact, although the angle was reduced, it wasn't enough, so the club face was open and the loft increased, resulting in a slice to the right. And that's even though I'm an experienced golfer and made good contact with the ball. Now, I'll show you the first drill. Prepare a resistance exercise band. I hooked it over my bicep and also over my lead thumb. This way, you can stretch and move it like this. This movement really makes you focus on the wrist angle numbers. And the goal of this drill is to maintain the tension in the band throughout your swing. If you cup your lead wrist or make the wrong backswing, like I mentioned earlier, the tension in the band will disappear. You need to feel like you're stretching the band as much as possible during the swing. At the start of my swing, the angle of my lead wrist is 24 degrees. But when I reach the top of my swing, the cocking angle changes to 33 degrees. However, if I try to maintain this tension, watch what happens. Look at that radial number. It's completely different now. It's only 3 degrees. By maintaining this tension, your lead wrist becomes almost flat. This will completely change your face to path, and it will also alter the loft delivered at impact. Now, with this feeling, I'll try hitting just one lightly. The shot I hit earlier flew 115 meters, but if you change your wrist angle and maintain the band tension, you hardly need to use any force. And look at how straight and consistent it is. Even though it feels like there's almost no backswing, I'm getting a carry of 155. This is the first step to creating the feeling of having no backswing. And this second drill really makes it feel like you have almost no backswing at all. Of course, in reality, there is still a swing, but it feels much shorter, like you're only making a half swing or 3/4 swing. However, because your body rotation increases significantly and you use your larger muscles, you end up utilizing the ground much more effectively. That's why you maintain your distance, or sometimes even hit farther, and your impact will become much more stable as well. With the first drill, we've addressed the wrist angle issue, so now let's focus on the arm structure. This is the second drill. Please position your hands like this. Extend your pinky and thumb, place your thumb on your sternum, and rest your pinky on your lead elbow, or the crease of your elbow. And when you do the backswing, you need to maintain this space exactly as it is at the start of the swing. In other words, if you take the club back like this, watch. Throughout the entire swing, I'm keeping this space just as it is. If you use only your arms, you can only bring it up to here. But look at my body rotation. A 90-degree rotation is standard, and if you rotate more, you can get up to 100 or 110 degrees of shoulder turn. And this feeling will be completely different from what you've been doing so far, where there was hardly any hip rotation or upper body rotation. It's also completely different from the feeling of your body standing up during the backswing. Make your hands into this shape. Place your pinky on the crease of your elbow and your thumb on your sternum, and keep them there throughout the swing. Then you'll immediately feel your hips start to rotate, and your upper body will naturally want to turn as well. And you'll be able to maintain the space between your lead arm and your chest. Now, if you put your hands back on the grip, your backswing will look like this. It will feel as if there is almost no swing at all. If this feels difficult, or the club feels heavy, try gripping a little lower. You can hold the lower part of the grip, or even the shaft. That way, the club will feel much lighter. First, create this feeling, then set up again. And while maintaining the sensation of pulling the band with your wrist angle, try pushing the club away from your body and hit the ball. great. That was another laser shot. The swing really feels short and compact, but look at how accurate it is. It's an iron shot that is struck compactly without adding excessive loft to the club, and there's no slice flying off to the right or ballooning. And this applies exactly the same to the driver. If you use these two simple drills together, your backswing will completely change. You'll be able to feel the sensations in your swing that world-class players experience instead of relying on these trick swings. Try these two together. You'll achieve the consistency and impact you want. Thank you for watching.